at CMIS, we have a set democratic services team with set democratic services processes, and that would include producing documents for committees, councillors and the public. It would take about 23 hours to produce something, so it would have to go from the actual committee meeting where they'd be handwriting the notes. The Democratic Services team would then go to their office and type them up. They would then have to go to an admin team by email. The team would then have to administer this piece of paper into a format that was suitable and sometimes consistent with agendas. Sometimes they had to fit to suit purposes. And they were made in an acceptable format through that process. They were then sent back to the Democratic Services team, and then after the Democratic Services team had looked at it, read through it, it would then go back to the admin team, who would then PDF this document to put it in a format so it could be published and also sent out. This would then have to go to the web team, who would have to look at these documents, and what was publishable above the line would then have to be published on the web, so they'd have to check it as well, and if it wasn't right then it'd have to go back again. So end to end it would take around 23 hours for a process to from end to end. We looked at CMIS through some demos at Norfolk County Council and also by visiting another county council in Essex, and that allowed us to see what CMIS does in terms of the quality, but also understanding from the end user point of view how those products are in terms of production and the time reduction that's involved in that. The most obvious thing is that the process is instantaneous. So in a democratic services member is actually typing their minutes up or their agenda, they can PDF it and take it straight to the format that they want it to be. So it actually looks like a really seamless process. I think also as an organisation we have benefited hugely because we've eliminated the double handling of information, or treble handling depending on how you look at it. They've saved time on producing high quality documents, and it gives greater control to the Democratic Services team. But another part of it is that it presents the information in a more consistent format, so that each agenda looks very, very similar, streamlined, but also consistent, which is really important if you've got members sitting on something, then they can find the information a lot quicker. And I think it means that we've used our resources better in our organisation. Our information which is presented online is also better because the members of the public who might be seeking for information on our website can find what they want a lot easier. So it's not just about the documents, it's about the way that CMIS has laid out the information that people can get either in the present meetings but also in historic data. So it's allowing the public better access to information. I think it also makes it simpler for us to add and take out information from documents. So if there are amendments to agendas that need to be added at a later date, it makes it a much simpler process rather than having to go through two teams to get something done and wait another 23 hours. And I think as an organisation the most important thing is it's allowed us to achieve a big part of our promise against our ICT strategic roadmap. It has streamlined it because the information can go straight onto historic details really, really easily, and it's in a very intuitive process for end users to make best use of. I think, well, apart from the time saving, it has allowed people to actually be in more control of putting things onto the documents, and also it has given them more control, so they are able to put things on in the way that they need to put them on, in the way that they need to be presented. What we are next hoping to do is to look at the business manager side. So now that we've mastered the back end processes of building agendas and minutes and attachments and so on, and also having done the historic side, we want to use it to a greater extent, and that would mean making sure that our forward plans are instantaneously created, which would save us a lot of time, but also to make sure that we're looking at all the details but well in advance, so we're much more prepared, much more ready and organised for our business. So I think there are a lot of opportunities for us to be had using Business Manager.